Hey everyone, this is Jay from Bodywork with Jay, and I wanted to offer you a bit of a grounding and breathing exercise today, particularly focused on finding some boundaries for yourself, creating a sense of your body and the space around you, having some protection, having some boundaries, and being able to breathe within that space. I am offering this right now in particular because for a lot of folks, we know that it can be hard to maintain those boundaries with friends and with family and lovers and anyone else around holiday time. So if you need a little bit of extra support right now in rooting and grounding yourself, I hope that this can offer that. And then before we start, another thing that I would say is a lot of times our emotional pain, things that we think are just in our head, can show up in other parts of the body. So for me, I know that a very typical spot that stress and anxiety shows up is my right shoulder blade, kind of on the inside edge, and it can present itself in such an intense way that I think that I've hurt my arm or my shoulder blade, and really a lot of it is just that mind body vagus nerve connection that runs all the way down the spine, comes into our face, goes into our bellies, like this whole path of how we receive in information and give out information. And if we can give ourselves some support in whatever areas of the body that this emotional pain presents itself in, then I hope we can get through our days a little easier and have some time to slow down and take care of ourselves. So that might be a different area for you than the shoulder blade. I'm going to focus on that for the sake of showing you all what this would look like today, since I know that inside shoulder blade is a spot for a lot of folks. But please, by all means, you can use this practice and take it to any part of your body, and just kind of do the same things that we're going to do today on the shoulder, but in a different part of your body. So with that, I would ask you to find yourself in a place that's going to support you while you do this. If that feels good to do seated, great. If that feels good to do laying down, great. If you want to stand, by all means, if you're able to do that. So before I do anything else, I usually just kind of check in with how much excited energy is going on for me. Ask myself, ooh, am I even ready to kind of come down and center and tap into my breath? And right now I'm feeling a little bit of anxious energy, so I'm just gonna shake that out, just breathe that out for a minute before I tune in. Okay. I feel a little more rested, ready to center. I'm going to start by feeling the connection with my feet on the floor, really gripping the surface underneath my toes, underneath my heels, underneath the bottom parts of my feet. And then I'm just going to look around my space a little bit, turning in all directions, checking out the room, checking out any exits I have, any windows, any doors, just getting a sense of the space around me. And then I'm going to drop down into my breath. So start to allow your breath to slow down little by little, just focusing on how it feels to fill up your rib cage with air, how it feels to release that air all the way out. Imagine as you're breathing in that you're breathing in what you need. You're calling back your energy that you've given to other commitments, to other people. You're breathing back into your chest, back into your throat, back down your spine and into your hips. What have you left out there in the world that you need to regather for yourself? Call that back in. On your exhales, what can you return? What can you return to other people that's not yours? What can you return to society, to external factors outside of yourself? What can you give back? Let that start to flow out through your fingertips, flow out through your feet, flow out through the top of your head. What's not yours that you can let go? And that you can trust that belongs to other people, and that it is their responsibility, it is their place to find the resources that they need to take care of themselves. And they can pull on whatever resources that they have access to, whether that's breathing or tuning in to other support systems, doing practices similar to what we're doing today. But what is something that you can let go that's not your responsibility? It's someone else's responsibility to take care of themselves. So as you breathe, imagine that you're creating a bubble around you. A bubble of protection, a bubble of semi-permeability, so that you get to determine what you let in and when you let it in. And you also get to let things leave. And it is always in your power to determine how permeable that bubble is. And you can make that bubble as expansive as you need, and you can make that bubble smaller, closer to yourself when you feel safer with someone else, when you want to let things flow in and out more. So go ahead and breathe, inhale into that expansive bubble, giving yourself as much space, as much protection as you need. Returning anything that you need to anyone else. If it feels good to imagine roots coming down out of your feet into the floor, you can envision that to have some more security, to tap into a resource that is part of this world and not just your own internal resources. How can you connect to the earth? How can you connect out the top of your head to the sky, to the space, the air around you, behind you? What can you gather up as a resource. So as you breathe, start to notice any area of your body that's maybe stuck, that's maybe experiencing some tension. So I'm going to go ahead and focus into that shoulder blade. Check out your shoulder blades. Check out the tops of your shoulders. Are they up in your ears? Check out the inside of your shoulder blades, kind of near the spine. Does anything feel constricted, tight? Go ahead and just notice that. Notice that without judgment if you can. Notice that that is your body's way of trying to protect itself, trying to hold something, to get through something. And in this bubble of protection that we've created, invite that area of tension to soften a little bit. We don't need to hold that up right now. We can imagine that it's softening, it's dissolving, whatever knot that is present, whatever gripping is present. Invite the idea of spaciousness. Breathe in the idea of spaciousness into that area of your body. Allow it to fill up the area between your spine and your shoulder blade. On your in-breath, imagine that it's ballooning out into your full shoulder girdle, top of your shoulder, out through the side of your arm. Imagine it is releasing all the way out, down through your arm, out through your fingertips. Allow your body to take any shake, any movement, any rotation that you need. Start to come back into your breath. Allow your breath to fill up that area again, traveling out and down. And just notice, is anything different this time as you're breathing in? Are you noticing more tension? Have you created more space for more awareness? It's okay if you're feeling more awareness of the tension. You can take this practice as long as you need. You can just repeat it over and over, and you can come out into your bubble, into your space as you need, and then come back in, into your breath, into your shoulder. Inviting more room, inviting more movement. Inviting the possibility of softness. Inviting in the possibility of boundaries for yourself. Just keep breathing. Take a moment to be still and present with yourself. Just noticing what has emerged today. And go ahead and thank your body for letting that emerge. Thank your body for holding what it holds. And thank your body for trying out today what might be a different way of holding something or releasing something, letting something flow a little bit differently, have a little bit more spaciousness and room. Go ahead and slowly allow your eyes to gently open if they're closed. Start to become acquainted with your room again, just allowing your body once again to twist, to check out the space around you, to check out your presence in your room, your feet on the floor perhaps, your hips on the chair. You can come back into the screen if you would like. Thank you so much for taking a little time for yourself today. I hope this practice can be one that you can come back to whenever you need it. You can take what works for you from this practice and leave the rest. And as you start to integrate this practice, it will become easier to do this in the moment when something is coming up with another person or a situation. You can build more capacity to start to notice your breath in those situations, to start to notice your feet on the floor, to maybe even start to envision that bubble around you and let it be as big or as small as you need in that moment. Imagining the roots coming down, imagining your connection to a greater universe. I hope that that can serve you well. Be gentle with yourself right now and always. Take good care.